Developing now as we come on the air from Eureka. First, the placement of a predator.
The state institutions are proposing to release and house sexually violent predators in our rural communities.
The latest community speaking out against a Humboldt man moving in. And the Eureka house fire.
Sounds like we got the dogs out.
We'll take you to the scene and what investigators are saying caused it. Also,
a miracle after so many days.
The missing California camper found alive.
She thought she'd be chased by this man still.
The miraculous rescue and the strange events leading up to her safe return. Plus, more than 1 million Facebook users saying they want to storm Area 51 to, quote, see them aliens. Tonight, the strong warning from the United States Air Force. North Coast News at 11 on ABC 23 starts now. On the air, Humboldt County officials call him a violent sexual predator, and tonight the latest on his possible placement in Tehama County. Thank you for being here. I'm Nazi Javid. A hearing is being held Friday on the possible placement of a violent sexual predator in Tehama County, and a lot of people are fired up about it. Here with more for us is our own Lisa Librignac in the studio. Lisa, what do we know?
Nazi, the decision about whether or not to place this sexually violent predator in Red Bluff will be made by a judge in Humboldt on Friday. But leading up to this day, there's a lot that's been done to prevent this from happening. 38-year-old Joshua Cooley pleaded guilty to 1 count of sexual battery and 1 count of lewd and acts with a person under 14 years old, according to court documents. A judge in Humboldt County has proposed to place him in 3 different areas here in Humboldt County where Cooley committed his crimes, but each time the court dropping the proposals because of a pushback from the community. And now public officials like Assemblyman James Gallagher, Tehama County District Attorney Matt Rogers, the Tehama County Sheriff, and the Tehama County Board of Supervisors have all sent letters to the judge opposing the placement of Cooley in Red Bluff. Gallagher says he had enough of the state trying to dump predators in rural communities.
The state institutions are proposing to release and house sexually violent predators in our rural communities where these folks have no connection to the area. Our counties didn't sentence them. And yet they're getting dumped on us in rural areas.
Officials say Tehama County does not have control over whether or not Cooley is placed in Tehama County because the Humboldt County Superior Court has jurisdiction. There are only about 20 people in the state that the court deems as sexually violent predators. The state defines these individuals as someone convicted of a sexually violent offense who has a mental abnormality or personality disorder. That makes the person likely to engage in predatory sexually violent offenses again. Tehama County DA Matt Rogers will be at the hearing on Friday, slated to happen here in Humboldt County at 8:30 in the morning. We'll continue to keep you updated on what the court decides. Reporting in the studio, Lisa Librignac, North Coast News.
And we'll be following the case closely. Lisa, thanks. A house fire breaks out around noon today. We were on scene as fire crews quickly responded, and new tonight we now know the cause of that fire. We take you straight out to Scott Rates, who was live at the scene earlier today with the aggressive attack on that fire, the people and the pets escape, and what started it all.
Well, Nazis, this is what it looked like just after noon when I got out here to the scene on C Street in Eureka. You can see the smoke billowing out of the front of this home. And then we look towards the back here. Several firefighters were out here battling this thing in the back area as well. We are told that 1 person was able to get out of this home and 2 dogs also were able to escape. Crews getting the fire under control in about 10 minutes. The fire, I'm told, contained to the kitchen area. Now, investigators say that the cause here appears to be a pan of grease left unattended on the stovetop. And you can see several different engines out here as well during this time fighting this fire. Now, crews saying that the fire causing at least $50,000 worth of damage to this home. 1 person did suffer some smoke inhalation, was treated at the scene and released. Reporting in Eureka, Scott Rates, North Coast News.
Scott Rates in Eureka for us. Scott, thanks. Fire officials tell us the cause of that fire was accidental, appears to be anyway, and Humboldt Bay Fire says about $50,000 of damage was done. A missing Inyo County hiker rescued, found alive after running from a knife-wielding man and eating cactus to survive in the wilderness for 4 days. Tonight, her friends and family speaking out about the horrifying ordeal.
One more look at the Powell family. They are thrilled Cheryl is safe. You see Cheryl, husband Joe, daughter Farah, and son Greg.
We're so happy. We couldn't possibly be happier.
Yeah. And we brought the hero of the show over here. In addition to
Longtime campers Cheryl and her husband Joe were camping in this remote area not far from Bishop. While Joe parked their Jeep at the campsite 4 days ago, Cheryl took their dog Miley with her when she went to relieve herself in a bush. A man with a knife confronted her. We FaceTimed with her children. Be advised, the quality is not great.
and she started running down the hill. She didn't know how far he chased them, but her entire behavior this whole time was, that was being chased. She didn't know to go after her. So they were looking at places somebody who was lost would go normally. She was avoiding the roads and open areas and traveling at night because she thought she was being chased by this man still.
She laid low through the weekend, avoiding roads to avoid the attacker. But that, of course, made it tough, too, for searchers trying to find her.
She was drinking stagnant water and eating cactus fruit.
Her son, Greg, is a doctor. I asked him how she's doing. He said she is so strong, you wouldn't guess what happened at all. Tears, hugs, and elation. Cheryl Powell's BFFs reacting to the news their friend is safe.
Magnificent.
Miracle.
It's a miracle after so many days gone.
Powell and her friends walk at this Huntington Beach park Mondays and Fridays, but they were missing her today. They're pleased they got to see her and her family smiling in this picture.
And her beautiful smile made me cry even harder, but I'm so grateful to see that.
So strong. It's absolutely amazing.
Yes.
They told me they were aware of the terrifying ordeal their friend endured.
I knew that there had to be something. She wouldn't just disappear into thin air.
Now it does make sense. They just want their friend safe and back home and back here with them.
We love you, Cheryl. We can't wait till you're walking with us again.
Yes.
Oh my God.
Next Friday.
The allegation that Powell was chased by a man wielding a knife was not confirmed by the Inyo County Sheriff's Office, but in a Facebook post, the office wrote that the investigation's portion of the Powell search continues. New tonight, a small plane made an emergency landing near a beach in Ocean City, Maryland today, and miraculously no one was hurt. Look at this video. The plane splashed into the ocean this afternoon as beachgoers watched in disbelief. Witnesses say the pilot, who was the only person on board, swam to shore. He later said his engine went out and he was approaching a nearby municipal airport, so he glided the aircraft into the water. The incident is under investigation. If you're exploring California's rivers this summer, please be careful. The Nevada County Sheriff's Office wants to send a clear message to all that river waters are not safe to swim in, like the river in South Yuba. And this scare for one Sacramento family is a perfect example why. Here's Anna Giles.
It was supposed to be a fun day trip, but it turned into a gut-wrenching day they will never forget. A Sacramento mother was forced to watch as her daughter and the father of her child struggled against the rapids. She says they fell in about the same time as they walked across the river, but her daughter was able to hold on to a rock.
I think if you're really respectful of the river, it's a powerful river, and don't take it for granted.
The Nevada County Sheriff's Office says people are ignoring warnings about how dangerous the river is, even as they searched for Alvarez's body.
Yeah, we come out every year to kind of do a family tradition.
Shane Starbuck, who's visiting the area with his kids, says the fast-moving water is a big concern, not wanting the same thing to happen to his family.
Take it by chance. We go up there, and if it's too quick or we see anything that might be undertows or whatnot, we obviously avoid or stay out of it.
The mother of the girl who survived being swept away says she hopes others take the time to wear life vests.
And another reminder of how dangerous river waters can be. A North Coast father was swept away by floodwaters earlier this year and died trying to get to his home where 3 children were trapped. This as communities were pummeled by the ferocious Ferndale flooding in February. Coast Guard crew members have returned home to the Bay Area following a 3-month counter-drug patrol in the eastern Pacific Ocean. The cutter coming back to Alameda Monday after a patrol where the crew did seizures on 8 different vessels, including one in June that resulted in the removal of over 17,000 pounds of cocaine, worth an estimated $232 million. The Coast Guard says that's their largest seizure since 2015. The total amount seized across all 8 operations was over 31,000 pounds of illegal drugs worth $467 million. Humboldt, you won't believe this one. Police were called to a possible injury collision involving a pedestrian at California and West Washington streets in Eureka just after 9 o'clock tonight. But officials say, as it turned out, that said pedestrian allegedly threw a milkshake on a car and kicked it, causing the car to flip around, hitting that pedestrian. It's unclear if the pedestrian was on the sidewalk or in the road, but the car taking off, police say they were able to stop it a few blocks down, finding liquid consistent with that reported milkshake on it. The pedestrian suffering minor injuries as a result, but refused to go to the hospital, according to officials. New tonight, if you're looking to start a new career, here's the perfect opportunity for you. College of the Redwoods is hosting CAL FIRE Basic Firefighter Training. Orientation is in Eureka in August, and classes go from October to January. Students who complete the certification will have the knowledge and skills to perform duties of an entry-level wildland firefighter. Students are also eligible to apply for CAL FIRE certification after successful completion of the training. Contact CR for more info. Coming up on North Coast News, the nationwide move to see them aliens. People on social media in a frenzy, planning to storm Area 51. Now the military is chiming in what they are saying straight ahead. And one woman's scheduled trip to get some shopping done turns into a nightmare. We'll tell you why the sheriff's office had to get involved. Plus, it was a pleasant evening in Old Town Eureka. Great for a summer stroll. This is the look from 2nd Street in Eureka. Cool and clear skies tonight. Our first solar meteorologist, Jessica Birch, will be with us soon to let us know what it will be like tomorrow. All of that when we come back in 2 minutes. Time is 11:11. Make a wish. I'm Nazi Javid. You're watching North Coast News.
At Oil Stop Drive-Thru Oil Change, we don't have anything to hide. You stay in the safety and comfort of your car so you can watch, hear, and interact with